Hi Piers, how's it going?
Hey, good, thanks, Matt. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. What have you been up to today?
Do you know what? Today has just been office bound, but it's quite good that we're actually able to get out on the golf course now and do our job a little easier. So, yeah,
Yeah.
yesterday was out on the golf course, today was office bound.
Where did you play yesterday?
So, we were just actually coaching in person.
Oh,
So,
okay.
coaching in the afternoon, doing a bit of filming in the morning. So,
Yeah. I
yeah.
played staffs yesterday.
Okay,
Okay, so I shot 76.
nice.
Yeah, with three putts as well.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I was two over on the 17th tee, and
Wow.
have you ever played staffs?
Yeah.
So you know the 17th tee, the green, you cannot go
Front to
but
back.
beyond the pin. You
Yeah.
cannot go back. So I had 4 feet down the hill for par.
Oh,
Three putt got 6 because it was 5 feet past no matter what
yeah.
what you did.
Where was the flag? Was it front, middle, or back?
It was like middle, but I was just like four. I had to chip on. I was 4 feet left, left. So I chipped on over the bunker. So I was just left of it, which I probably shouldn't have done. But well, I'm not pro, so I can't have everything. And on 18, I had 12 feet for birdie and bogeyed.
Still though, you tee off at the beginning of the round. You like saying, if I can shoot that score, you're going, I'm taking that all day because it's a good score. It's a good score.
Yeah, I know, but like I guess it's like anything. When you're there and you're in the moment, like you just want that little bit more. So I kind of left like a little bit deflated when that should not be the case. It was the best round I ever shot, but I still feel like I should be 74, which makes it like to me that makes a huge difference.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we always say this. I mean, as coaches, we always say, well, for the three putts that you had, I mean, think about the putts that you hold, and if you hold anything over 10 feet that went in, that you would say is a bonus and definitely an equalizer compared to a 3 putt for sure.
Yeah, but I guess I wouldn't say I hold anything that long, but it was kind of more of I just striped every iron shot, like and that probably never happens. That rarely happens. So like normally you would fat a few, or you would put them in. I didn't go in any greenside bunkers, or I only hit 50% fairways, but I missed like well, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
So whether I just missed or else my second shot, I still had I could still go for the green and stuff like that. But the greens there are so quick.
Well, they had club championship there the weekend, so you were playing it at the perfect time. So it was like literally the course would have been perfect for you.
Yeah. Well, I guess for anybody who doesn't know that, I'm just a real golf. I'm like a golf fanatic. So whenever I can, like, I'm looking at tee times at like 6 o'clock tonight to see if I can get out. And me, Piers, Andy, and Liam, a guy that we know, we played the other day and we had a match, and I think you're 1-0 down, are you?
Yeah, we 1-0 down. We're 1-0 down. Yes.
I think you're 1-0 down. So the rematch is, I guess that's going to happen whenever that's going to happen. But
absolutely.
How's Burton looking?
Yeah, it's not too bad. I think with obviously the way that it was with furlough. So obviously a lot of the green staff were furloughed. It took some time to get back to it, and during the period when they were furloughed, we were having a lot of hot weather. So that obviously brings its own problems. You got to irrigate the course. You got to make sure that there's plenty of water on it. So it took a bit of time to get used to it. It's actually really good now. So it's looking good. Even the Asprey as well, which obviously you're very familiar with, where we do a lot of our filming, is looking really good now. But yeah, there's some good. The courses are looking pretty good now, I think, in the UK for sure.
Yeah. But they're just packed. Like today, like looking at times, everything's just stacked. And you know what I find a little bit disappointing about some of the courses is they're just and maybe I'm being a little bit snobby when it comes to golf. I don't know, but when there's just too many people, like you've got a group on the tee box, a group that's in the fairway, a group just walking off the green. I don't know, but I just don't like. I know the clubs have to make money and stuff like that, but it just seems a bit like you can probably not have that many people. Well, I know everything that's happened is probably difficult, but I don't know.
I mean, if you look at it, I mean, the thing is now, so I've got a lot of friends who want to play golf now who would be normally thinking about pre-season playing football now. So you think about all the people who would normally be playing football or rugby or even, other team sports. They're going, well, what sports can I play? I can't play the team sport, so I need to play something else. And I don't, it's like it, maybe Aston Wood and I know Perton. I played a golf course the other day that had 160 new members in 2 months. Wow. Now, those 160 members, they're all going to want to play as well. So you think
in the
about
first
your
week,
existing membership, and those guys, put them together, you're going to get what you just said.
Yeah. And I guess if the tee time is there then, and people book it, there's nothing they can do. But I don't know. It just, and I guess when some of the courses, people, I feel like if they're not dressed like properly for golf, you just see some people walking out almost joggers. And you just think, I'm not sure. That stuff doesn't happen at the Belfair. Should have become a member there. Missed it.
As you said, though, the key is that the golf courses now, a lot of people want to play golf, but I think the golf clubs have to figure out how to manage that. And everything you just said there is all part of the equation.
Have you got any updates on when you're moving yet?
So moving to the US, no, not at the moment. I mean, we just saw this morning that California, things aren't going great out there. So that's the state that we want to move to. So, what, we're still preparing our, if anyone's watching this or listening to this and wants to get me and Andy into America, my wife into America, then please let us know. But ultimately, we're going through all that stuff with the immigration lawyer. We're just sort of boxing all that off. So as soon as there is a window that we can actually make the jump, the people out there, the companies that we work with already, who are based out there are really excited. We can take our content to another level for sure. Yeah. And it allows us just to film all year round, which is something that we just struggle with. It's like over here in the winter. It's not, you're not going to get out there and do loads of filming.
There's not many courses that winter well, is there?
No.
Enville, Sutton Park.
Yeah, there too. Worfield, have you played Worfield?
Does that winter well?
Oh yeah, amazing. So it's sandstone based. So
I've played there.
Yeah, it's really good. I don't know what it's like. It's an interesting one because the owner is a little bit.
It's a bit weird there. The atmosphere is a bit weird. Yeah. I know. We noticed that. It's like I don't know. Have you ever seen like the movie Hot Fuzz? I don't know if you've ever seen it.
Yeah.
But that type of like town out, like when you get there, something just seems off. I don't know what it is. But it is good course. But we thought that wouldn't winter well. That's why we never played there.
Oh really? No. Yeah. So in the winter, it just drains incredibly well. Kind of like Chesterton, really, but it's just another level up as far as quality, I suppose. But yeah,
I always find with Chesterton though, because they've got a lot of hills, not like a.
Yes.
I think is that the par 3 start?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
I remember. So we played there and we had the par 3 start, and I get nervous on the first tee as it is. Yeah. And there was like a group of Wolves fans behind me. So it's only like a wedge, 120 yards. Yeah.
Yeah.
It got to the point where I literally just picked my ball up and had to walk to the next tee.
No.
On a little par 3. Yeah. Like fatted 2 of them, thinned it, couldn't get it, like 2 or 3 to get out of the bunker. I just picked my ball up and walked to the next tee. I was mortified. That's the only time I struggle is literally on that first tee. I don't know what it is. I cannot shake it. John was the same. We played with him yesterday. And he says, like, I don't mind hitting a shot in front of somebody on like the 10th hole. But once it's on the first tee, I think it's just an eagerness to start well, probably. That's probably what it is.
Yeah, mate, I've heard a lot of footballers talk about this. I always remember Schmeichel talking about it, saying that he's never been so nervous as being on the first tee in like a pro-am with literally like 20 people watching, as opposed to Champions League final in the new camp.
It's weird, isn't it? I don't know why that is. Maybe because it's just you're not really in control. Like you don't embarrass yourself, and it's not your actual sport. It's more of a hobby, but you take it like I think I take it too seriously. But I don't know. I don't know what it is.
I think any footballer obviously is competitive. So then you play another sport, you want to be competitive, and as you say, because you're not perhaps in as much control. I mean, that's so. I mean, we've spoken about it before, but I think it's quite interesting that you don't really get nervous, do you, when you play matches?
No, just like I can't wait to. You know that feeling I get going to like a golf course. I can't wait to play. That's the same feeling I get going to a game. So you're not nervous. You have that like anticipation. So you you want to get out there, but not to the point where you're like, my hands are shaking here, like I'm sweating, or it's just not like that. I guess maybe when you're a bit younger, but when you're like 28, like I'm a grown man, so I get that's probably. I say I'm a grown man, but then I'm there on the first tee, scared as anything to hit the ball. So no, I don't get the golf nerves. Definitely outweigh the football nerves.
It's strange, isn't it? I mean, I suppose all we say as coaches to that is that, you know, you've got to find a way of just creating that perception of control that you have in football and transferring it to golf. And I don't know, were you ever nervous playing football? That's the question I haven't asked you, actually. Were you ever nervous, like
genuinely thought, like, oh, I'm not. The only time you would ever be nervous, I think, is when like you're quite low on confidence in terms of like your form isn't good, and you're kind of like you go through that stage where everything is just you're kind of dreading everything a little bit, you know, like them ones where like every game you're just thinking, oh, I just hope I can do something like get back in a bit of form today or play well, and then maybe if you're coming up against like a really good team, good wingers, where you're thinking. You're just low on confidence, and then the low on confidence will kind of just add to the nerves, where you're just thinking you want it to go well so badly that you can probably overdo it and try too hard. I guess that's probably the only time just when you're confident. And to be honest, most players go through that once a season, or maybe even twice a season, where they're just not really at it, where the confidence is a little bit low. Probably once a season you go through a little. It might only be 2-3 games where it's just not coming off and stuff like that. And then I don't know whether it's in training or just in the game again, where it just clicks again and you think, oh yeah, like I feel good, and you need to do a few good things happen. You might score a goal. You think, I'm back to form again. But it does happen. You do go through stages like that, definitely.
It's interesting because you think of your position that you're up against probably, there's at least 3 people that come to my mind that are probably in the top 5, to at least definitely the top 10 in the Premier League. You know, you think of like a Rashford and a Sterling and a Mane. You have to give a guess then, don't you?
I know. But I guess that's where the beneficial. It's beneficial to play 5 at the back. So you're kind of push forward a little bit. And then you say you give the ball away, you're running back. That's where your centre half kind of bails you out. But yeah, like not only that, sometimes you come up against these wingers, and you think you've seen them off for the time being, but then you've got like the way fullbacks are nowadays. Anyway, they're like wingers. So once that happens, it gets shifted out to the fullback, and he's running at you anyway. So like I've learned personally like so much over the last. Just being in the Premier League, which in my opinion is the best league in the world. I guess I've had to, because I've been put in the starting team, so I have to play well. I have to play well, or else you won't be in it. So from where I was like 3 years ago to where I am now, like offensively, just off the pitch, physically, defensively. So like all of that I've had to improve quite drastically. So probably when the manager first started, and obviously I managed to do that, and things have gone really well. At the moment, it just helps with the team, how well the team is doing, doesn't it? Always helps. If we were like 15th, 16th, then that's where you might start to have that bit of nerves going into a game.
And I probably watched you more in the last 3 years than I did before that, but how did you improve that much?
Well, I guess a lot of it is, for me, was just in my own body. So physically, I got better. I was able to like tone down. I was able to lose weight and get in a better shape. So then that gave me a bit more confidence going onto the pitch. So when I actually got onto the pitch, then I thought, oh, well, I can get up and down without. Well, like when I used to get forward, but then like I'd be like jogging back because I was just like I couldn't recover at all. So I built up a bit of confidence by just being in better shape. So not giving people an excuse to say, oh well, you're not fit enough. Do you know what I mean? So I made sure that I covered that part of it. And just like the manager and the staff that came in, they just instilled like this level of confidence and this winning mentality, this ruthlessness that we have now. And look, when you're playing with the players that you have in the team now, you kind of just, whatever you're doing, they're on to pass it. Wherever you run, they have the vision to just flick it over and find you. So like when you're playing in a team like this, it's not too hard.
I suppose listening to what you're saying there, then the transfer of that over to golf is almost that. Yes, of course, you need to do the preparation for golf like you need to do for a game, but it's understanding that your drive is almost like a player in your team. Your iron play is like a player in your team. Your short game is like a player in your team. So the better players you have, the more comfortable you feel on the golf course. And
but all these parts have to work, don't they?
Of course.
In order for like your either your golf game or your team to win. So if half the clubs or whatever aren't working, half the team's not working, you're not gonna do very well, are you? So like that's where like being team game really comes into it. You kind of get each other together. You're not really afraid to say, listen, come on, we need to like focus. If the team's not doing well, this is where our shape and stuff comes into it. You get saying, let's get tight and let's not just give up any chances, stuff like that. So like I mean, it's like golf. There's a lot more goes into it than just walking out into the pitch and running around and kicking a ball. And like it's not like you just walk onto a course and expect to stripe every time. Even though that's exactly what I do. I walk onto a course expecting to hit it perfect every time that I catch it. So, but Liam did say to me. He said to me, Liam is just a guy who played golf at the pro at the, I don't know if he's pro, but at the Belfry. He said if he caddied, like you said, if he caddied for me, he said he reckons I could shoot under par.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. I mean, just controlling that. So what would generally say? Obviously, when you see a top tournament golfer, you'll see that they have a caddy. So the caddy will be there helping them with their strategy, helping them with their selection. Of course, the player has the ultimate control and the decision to say yes or no. But the caddy will give them the information that they need to hear more so. So if that caddy were to tell the player, oh, you're playing amazingly well, just make sure you play well for the last 3 holes and you'll do well, the player's going to go, what are you doing putting that kind of pressure on me? So if the caddy were to say bad things to the player's going to go, you're fired, you're out. But amateur golfers haven't got caddies. So we need to be our own caddy, like an inner caddy in the brain, going, you need to tell yourself the right things. So when we spoke to you about expectations on like a 10-foot putt, you saying to yourself that you should be knocking in, it's like a caddy saying to you, come on, mate, you should knock this in because it's a 10-footer. You'd be like going, hang on a bit, what are you on about? Don't put that pressure on me.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're talking the amateur golfers of your standard, you're a good standard, obviously, shooting in the mid-70s. Percentage to make from 10 feet is probably going to be around about 30 to 25% at best for good putters.
You find that quite low. What would the pros be on for 10 feet? The same?
Pros from 10 feet would be anything between 40 and 50 on average.
That's still only like not even half.
Absolutely. So the thing
10 feet's not that far,
Yeah, exactly. But if you think about golf when you watch golf on the telly, if you watch it on a Thursday and Friday, there's 120 people playing golf. You're only going to see 20 of them, if that. Now, the reason you're seeing the 20 golfers is because they're playing well. Now, the reason they're playing well is probably because they're knocking the putts in. So whenever you watch the golf on the telly, all you're seeing is putts being holed. The other 100 guys who are missing their putts, you're not seeing those. So it's that.
Yeah, that's interesting because when I go on the PGA Tour app, and I look at like like if you're just following a player.
Yes.
So I'd look, and a lot of the time, or a lot of the pros, every time they're in the fairway, 120 yards, 150 yards to go, but they're still like 20, 30 feet from the pin then. And I was saying to one of my mates today, I said, surely like they should be getting 20 feet or worse than in. But he says no. He said no. He said like they'll play to a spot.
Yeah.
But I'm just thinking like from like 150 in, because when I'm 150 in, like if it's not like 20 feet in, I'm thinking, oh yeah, it was all right. Like, but I'm expecting a pro to be like really at it, but it's not the case. They're still the same, like 25 feet away. But the thing is, they'll hold some putts, won't they?
So I'll give you a good example here. Dustin Johnson. I haven't got the exact numbers on this, but I know that. So Dustin Johnson got to world number 1. We know Dustin Johnson as golfers. He's someone who hits the ball miles, and he's actually pretty straight for someone who hits the ball so far. So 330 yards, no problem. So if you hit it 330 yards, you're going to have a lot of shots from between 150 and 100 yards. It makes sense. Now, he actually was really quite bad at that. He wasn't in the top 50 in the world from 150 to 100, even though he was a top 10 player in the world. So he looked at the stats and actually figured out, well, actually, I need to be a lot better. So all that DJ did, he was literally from 150 to 100 yards in, he got about 3 to 4 feet better on average. That's all.
That's a lot.
That made him from a consistent top 10 player in the world to being the best player in the world, world number 1.
Yeah. Because 4 feet is a lot. Like 4 feet's a lot. That's like saying, oh, but he only outdrove me by 30 yards. 30 yards could be 3 club difference, 2 club difference to some people. So
yes, exactly.
That is a big difference.
Yeah. And you think about him, he's hitting pitching wedges. 150 yards to some people is like a 9-9, an 8-9, even a 7-9. To him, it's like a wedge. So it's a massive advantage for him.
You know what I wanted to ask you was, you know, like the times where we used to see you at Asprey and like just when you were coaching and stuff like that. Like, did you ever think you could get so big in terms of just the YouTube and then just the golfing videos that you do and Instagram? Or was that the idea? Was that the goal? Was that you thinking, yeah, we can do this?
Do you know what?
Kind of just happen?
Yeah. If I gave you the quick sort of 3-minute sort of what happened over the last 10, 15 years. So basically myself and Andy coached at Three Hammers Golf Complex, which you know. Now, we did well there. We built it up into a pretty strong, solid academy. We were in charge of everything from a coaching point of view. But we always felt that we weren't reaching enough golfers. You know, we was coaching full tilt, me and Andy. We got 3 other guys working for us. We were like, you know, but we never felt we were teaching enough people. So we thought, well, we actually quit Three Hammers. We went traveling for 3 months around the world, but just seeing lots of different golf coaches, just growing our knowledge, which was an unbelievable experience. But as we were doing that process, we thought, you know what? We were seeing what the fitness industry were doing, how many people they were reaching. We thought, you know what? We really believed, and no one was really doing it in golf. We thought there's something here for sure. So as long as we were able to deliver the value and make it consistent, so making sure we were there every week for people, we really thought that we could have done something. But when you look back at what we've done, you know, we love doing the videos, obviously, with people like Rory and DJ and Rama. But then some of the places we've visited. But then ultimately it comes back to the golfers that we see from all over the world. We'd be at a golf course anywhere in the world and we'll see someone who watches our videos. That for us is the most
that's true. Yeah,
it really. We saw you in Spain this year. You know, I mean,
but I knew it was you from miles away. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's just something about you that you can just tell the way you are. Like, I knew it was you.
Yeah, you've obviously watched too many videos without realizing it.
Yeah, and then I had that putting lesson and 4-putted about 3 times on the back 9.
Yeah. John slipped there 50 on that one.
That is good. But honestly, from that I was there, I just find it incredible just to see I get a bit jealous when I see you doing the videos of like all these golfers and stuff like that. That is, I've just got to that point, because you can get to a point and it's like, great, but you are like with the best players, that, like some of the best players I've ever lived, like Rory and stuff like that. So, it just must be unbelievable when you think, like when people say to me, "Oh, you must pinch yourself sometimes," like when you think of where Wolves were a few years ago. to where they are now, you must pinch yourself, which obviously I do, and I think like the change has been unbelievable in short, like I said to you before, in such a short space of time. To just go from being a Three Hammers junior coach and then just expanding and wanting to fulfill more of your potential. It must be a real good feeling.
Yeah. Do you know what? Whenever we're doing something which is special, and not, look, for us, going to the Asprey and creating something which we feel is just a really good video, that's special for us. But obviously there's levels of it, and when you're there, so we do this tailor-made photo shoot. We do one a year where you have them all there. So in 3 days, effectively, we film with Rory, Ram, DJ, Jason Day, Maria Fassi, Morikawa, Matthew Wolf, Bo Hostler. Yeah. So these amazing players, and me and Andy always make a point where we should say to ourselves, just soak it up, just understand what you're doing here, because this is just, when we quit Three Hammers, because it was quite a sought after position, all our friends, family included, were thinking we were just crazy. What are you doing, you idiots? What are we doing? And we just said, you know what? We've got a hunch. Let's just give it a go. We worked hard, and we just went from there. And you got to have a bit of luck. We've definitely had a little bit of luck along the journey. Yeah, of course, yeah. But yeah, you got to pinch yourself sometimes when you're seeing what you're doing. But even doing this, I tell you the one. Yeah. This is nothing against you, because I just think obviously you're a fantastic player and what have you. Yeah. But my highlight in football was sitting down and meeting Ruud Gullit for the first time and talking to him about golf and coaching for an hour. And it was at an Audemars Piguet event, and it was literally, we knew he was there because we go there and we coach some players and we mix with the competitors and what have you, and we do the emceeing there. And I'm like to Andy, Ruud Gullit's going to be there. We can meet Ruud Gullit. But we got there. And he was talking to somebody else. We were talking to someone else. We hadn't introduced ourselves. I'm going to introduce myself to Ruud Gullit. And then suddenly I hear this guy shout, "Oi, you two!" So whenever says "you two," obviously me and Andy will always look around. So we look around and Ruud Gullit's going, and he's like walking towards us saying, "I love your videos" and all that sort of stuff. And we're like, "Oh, really? This is just crazy. What's going on?"
How good is that? You must have been like,
that was
weird, isn't it? Like,
yeah.
Like, I wouldn't get starstruck off like a footballer or anything like that, but like a golfer, I would just be like, I don't know why, but they just something about them that it's just the way that, I don't know whether it's just the way they hit the ball. Maybe it's because I watch a lot of golf and it's just my second sport really. But like I told you before, obviously, I'm the biggest Tiger Woods fans ever. Like if I was to go to a tournament to watch, I'd almost waste it by watching him the whole day. Like I wouldn't go and watch anybody else's shots.
Yeah,
I would just be like, he could because the only time I probably get seen is probably at the Open or something like that when he's in this country. So he could be, how tough it is. He could be 3 or 4 or 5 over, whatever, and I would still just follow him around. So my experience would almost be not ruined because I'm only looking at one guy, but it wouldn't be maximized. But I think that's probably the case for a lot of fans that go, isn't it? Go to watch him.
We've been to the Farmers Insurance at Torrey Pines, the tournament at the end of January on the PGA Tour. We've been to that the last 4 years, and the first 2 years we went, Ram won. I can't remember who. I think Jason Day won it the second time round, and Tiger wasn't there. The next year, the third year we went, Tiger was there, and the crowd, they doubled. It went from being a quite comfortable tournament to walk around and watch people to being like an Open Championship where you just 100 deep trying to go and see him on certain bottlenecks. It was just phenomenal. The power that he has in the game is frightening.
It's a bit like, have you seen that Last Dance with Michael Jordan?
Yes, unbelievable.
It was a bit like that. Like when he said he was retiring the first time, you had people in the crowd crying.
Yeah.
The only time I ever see that was like a Michael Jackson concert where they get carried out because they don't know what they've gone hysterical. So I guess they're probably on the same level, aren't they? They'd probably be about the same level.
I mean, you got to look at Jordan as probably one, if not the greatest sportsman for what he did to a team. That's crazy. I don't know. Comparisons, Maradona maybe. I don't know.
Messi, maybe.
Messi, Ronaldo. Ronaldo can do that, can't he? Have you played much against Ronaldo?
Never.
Oh, that's a shame. Not yet, anyway. Not yet.
No, not yet. Not yet.
Champions
6 games
League
to go. You never
next
know.
year.
We could be drawing them in the Champions League. You never know.
Champions League next year. Come on.
But no,
All the Europeans.
never. What was
European
that?
Championships, hopefully.
Yeah, you never know with that as well. We have to get through a playoff still, so he's just unreal, isn't he? He just can do absolutely everything.
He's pretty good. He's pretty good.
Well, one more question I wanted to ask actually was, what's the difference between the courses in America would you say the courses in America are closer to the ones that you find in like Marbella, or would you because courses over here like Staffs, they're not overly long, are they? But then you get the pros go to like a tournament and you think, like, I don't even know, some of the holes, you just feel like a par 4 is like 500 sometimes.
Yeah, so it depends where you are. So the one thing that America have got over UK is the room. So, you know, you go to golf courses that can have 70 complexes. So you can literally you can go yardages, or you can have a hole which is a nearly drivable par 4, which then is a par 5 off a different tee. So you can stagger around. You've got a lot more room there, a lot more scope, but it depends where you play. So if you go to, for instance, East Coast, Northeast Coast, where you're playing like courses in New York State, which is probably some of the best courses in the country, there's a lot of similarities to what you would get in the UK with meadow grass, you know, like Aston Wood and South Staffs. But if you then go to Florida, where it's a lot hotter all year round, the grass is a lot tougher, a lot more Bermuda and thicker grass. So chipping there is quite different, a lot more grain involved in putts. And you have the same when you go to the West Coast. So the West Coast, obviously California, where we want to go, the ground's a lot softer. So the grass is tough, but the ground is soft. So chipping off that can be quite tricky. But then you go to like the Midwest in California, and again, you have courses which are shut down in the winter because of the snow, but then they come into the summer and they have oppressive heat and humidity, so they have to be able to adapt to that. So they're different. Florida tends to have a lot of water involved in play. Whereas you go New York and the Midwest, it's trees.
I actually quite like the narrower courses where like rough is a bit long. So I actually quite like the challenge of when you have to hit irons a bit more. And you know, that type where you're not just lashing a driver out there. I quite like. That's why Aston Wood is half decent, because you're not just lashing a driver, right? You're kind of shaping like the holes of the dog each time. Yeah,
and that's what you can get, and that's the beauty about golf. I mean, football pitches generally play the same, but obviously there'll be certain things, and for you to notice the difference between a good and a bad pitch, I would say it's quite a big difference. But from a speed point of view, but I think golf obviously offers another unique thing. But it's just even more varied. But what's your favourite course that you've ever played?
My favourite, the hardest for me is the Brabazon. Is the hardest. Yeah, for me. But my favourite, I'm going to give you like 5. So I like playing the Belfry. No particular order. I wouldn't say that's number 1. I played the Wisley once. Have you played the Wisley?
No, I've not played it. Heard it very good. Heard it's very good though.
Yeah, it was very. I shot an 82 there with 6 3-putts. So
he's got counting 3-putts.
That was like years ago, so that's when I was a real hothead on the course.
That's okay.
The Grove.
Nice.
And even like a Windlesham for some reason. Have you ever played Windlesham?
Never played it.
Have you heard of it?
Never played it.
Anyway, it's in Ascot.
Okay.
I don't like playing there, but like I love the old course in Portugal.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that course! Like I don't know what it is, but I just love that course so much. That's one of my favorites. The one what's the one in Marbella where you walk in and it's a bit like palm tree? What one is that? Is that
It's not orange trees, is it? Like Los Naranjos?
That's what it is. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, that's nice.
I don't know what it is. Yeah, that's a really nice course. I just love playing golf abroad in Portugal. Obviously, I go to Portugal every year to play golf, and like the Kinta North and South. Like there's just so many good courses. But in this country, I just like Brabazon, Grove, Wisley.
Decent courses. So you do realise your off-season in the summer is going to be very different when we move to America, because you're going to be coming out there and playing Torrey Pines and Pebble Beach.
Oh, Bethpage, never finding
I thought about that one. It's too hard.
Bringing 50 balls out and coming back with
Yeah.
none. Oh, I don't know how them pros, how do they even shoot under par when the rough is like that? Because nobody's, like, everybody with a driver as well, they can spray it as well. Like, it's not like you're hitting it dead straight. So how do they, like, when a US Open, I just never know. They're that good that they're able to finish a US Open in that under par.
Yeah, it's pretty special.
They must have to bring some tees up. No?
Not. I mean, the USGA are quite sadistic. They want to make it hard. They want to break the players. They'll make it really hard. I think you just when you get a collection of the best players at a major, you know that at least 20 people are going to bring their game that week, and then it's down to them. It's just down to them who gets the putts.
It will generally be the top in the top 30 in the world. Really want it, like, generally, unless you have like just a one-off or whatever. But I actually quite like tournaments where, like, you level par might win. I love golf like that.
Yeah.
You know, like when a par is like gold dust.
It's what you get at US Open.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is. But anyway, this was really enjoyable, I guess, and I've had a blast doing it. I'm glad you were able to obviously take part in it, and I'm glad you were able to have the conversation. So I guess I'll be seeing you on the course pretty soon. And thanks for having the conversation with me.
Absolutely. You know what? It's been brilliant. It's been great sort of spending a bit more time with you recently as well. And you know what? Good luck for the rest of the season, and hopefully, and I don't know if you know, I'm a Man United fan actually. So as far as I'm concerned, I want Man United and Wolves both in Europe next year. I'll be happy with that. And if Man City
I'll let you off.
Then I'm all right.
I'll let you off on this one. Cheers.
Good luck the rest of the season.
Yeah, Sam. Thank you.